Que a ti te pienso tanto, no creo que solo sea amor. Por ti baby doy el mundo y la mitad en mi corazón. Baby, tú y yo queriéndonos, sintiéndonos. Hazme el amor, y el que tanto dice tenerme. Hazme el amor, para que matemos la curiosidad. Tú sabes mejor que esos besos son los que dan suerte. Hazme el amor, olvidarnos de nuestra realidad. Yeah, te conozco poco.
Hello, welcome to the Oakland A's UK YouTube channel, and also welcome, potentially, to the Oakland A's UK podcast. Well, hello, yes, I am Matt. It is Sunday the 15th of May, and, well, I'm trying something out here. We'll see if we can get it to work. Hello to Jacob. Good to hear from you. Yes, so the A's started this past week in a right old mess. 9 losses in a row, facing 9 games in 7 days as well. However, Mark Kotze's men have really risen to the challenge, winning 4 out of 5 in Detroit, and have started off decently enough at home against the Angels, 1 and 2 so far in the first 3 games. So to get into the mood for today's series finale, I thought I would do a little pre-game live stream. Yes, so we're live streaming on the YouTube channel, so hello Jacob, as I said, nice to hear from you. If you are watching live, you can get in contact via the YouTube chat with any questions, comments, thoughts. What do you think of the season so far? What do you think about today's game? Frankie on the mound for the A's. How do you think he'll come through today in another audition, potentially, for a mid-season trade? But I'm also going to turn this into a podcast too. So the thing here is, we love doing a podcast, but we're now in a situation where there are a lot less restrictions, so it's a bit harder to organise, well, if you're me anyway, it's a bit harder to organise guests and everything like that. So it's been a few weeks since we did a pod, so I thought I will pod up this live stream if I can, and we'll see how that goes. So number one, if you're listening to the podcast and you listen to this, then I've succeeded in point 1 of actually being able to get something up there published from the live stream. And hopefully it sounds good too. So do let me know, Oakland AUK. And yes, I will, we'll see how this goes, basically. Big Frank on the mound. Let's get it. Yes, Jacob, exactly. I can even bring that up. Let me bring that up for you. There we go. Yes. So it should be a good game today. It's, well, we're just about half hour away. Actually, it's 8:33 UK time. So it's in just over half hour first pitch today against the Angels. So we've spent about 20 minutes or so previewing today's game, but also looking back at the game so far in this series and looking ahead to the 3-game series at home against the Minnesota Twins. So that is coming up on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So yes, hope you're having a good weekend so far. It's been very nice here, actually. In the UK, yesterday was very sunny and hot. Today, less sunny, but still pretty warm. So, I mean, it is mid-May, so you would like there to be a bit of heat out there, but you can never be sure here in the UK. So, yes, very welcome to be able to spend a bit of time outside. But this is I love this part of the season where, you know, you've had a busy week at work previously, you've had a weekend, and then you get to the end of the weekend here in the UK and can tune in and watch an A's game and hopefully an A's win. There's no better way to finish off a weekend than with an A's win. I'm sure you will all agree. So let's have a look at the series so far. The A's came into it, as I mentioned, on the back of 4 wins out of 5 in Detroit. Much needed confidence boost for the team, but we also had to be honest with it that the Detroit Tigers are pretty much as bad as we are. So, yeah, nothing too extravagant in terms of how well we did there. The Angels, however, coming into the Coliseum was a big test, given the talent they've got on their roster and the fact that they were red hot, one of the hottest teams in Major League Baseball coming in. They were not being very, how should I put it, not being very Angelsy, unfortunately. Yeah, actually playing very well. Normally they have the talent, they have all of the names, but are unable to get it together. So they've started off the season very well, and I'm glad to hear from Jacob that in Cali it's been very warm. Yes, I suspect it has been. I know watching the games online, watching the footage from out there in Oakland, looks like it's been very pleasant indeed. Maybe a bit too hot for flakes like myself, perhaps. But yes, there we go. So yes, coming into this series against the Angels, we knew it was going to be a tough test. And it started off that way in game one, where we lost it 2-0. But I have to say, give a lot of credit to Dalton Jeffries. He had struggled in his previous 2 outings, hadn't he? So it was a very encouraging performance from him, even though we lost the game 2-0. He did pitch well against the hottest hitting team in baseball, pretty much. 6 innings pitched there, 2 runs allowed on 5 hits. Mainly pitched out the stretch. In fact, he pitched out of the stretch rather than a full wind-up all the way through. That's something he spoke to Paul Blackburn about, Blackie, who has been fantastic. What a surprise he's been for us. A very pleasant surprise for the A's so far this season. Paul Blackburn has been pitching out of the stretch, and that's what DJ decided to do, and it worked well for him. So hopefully he's found something there to build on. So yeah, looking at the details, he did hold down Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and Anthony Rendon, which is pretty good going, frankly. But that solo home run given up to Andrew Velasquez, that was a real kick in the balls, wasn't it, to give that up to him. You do have to give some credit, however, to the Angels starting pitcher, Chase Sildiff. What a start for him, making his Major League debut, who was picked by the Angels in the amateur draft last season. First person in the entire class to make it to the majors, and he pitched extremely well. 6 innings pitched, no runs allowed, 1 hit, just 2 walks. Brilliant from him. Tip the cat to Chase Sildiff. Very good outing from him. So that led us into Saturday, where we had 2 games. Not a traditional doubleheader like we had in Detroit going back last week, but in fact just an afternoon game and then a night game. And boy, oh boy, that afternoon game, eh? 4-3, walk-off win, and Luis Barrera. I was playing some sort of Latin-y music for you to start off with a bit of a Barrera flavour, I thought, maybe. What an incredible way to end that game, and what a turnaround for him in so many ways, even just in that game alone, having come in as a pinch runner, made the base running mistake to make an out, and made a fielding mistake to help pad the Angels' lead. It was fantastic how he turned things around. Brilliant. This is Carl. Always good to have you along, Carl. Nice to hear from you. I remember seeing from your Twitter account you had a paid comedy stand-up gig at some point, so that's good to hear from you. Few people here, Luis Barrera going balls to the wall. Absolutely, mate. Yes, he's going very well. Can't believe we cut McKinney. It was a difficult one with McKinney, wasn't it? It's like, balls over the wall, actually. Well, one of the two. Yeah, in fact, both, to be honest. But yes, McKinney, he just couldn't get going, and it sort of became a bit of a roster crunch, didn't it, really? It was with Ramon coming back up, we had to clear a spot for him, so I guess he was the odd man out, unfortunately. But we'll see. I don't think he's been claimed to anyone, Billy McKinney, so it's quite possible he'll go to AAA in Vegas. And as we've seen with Luis Barrera, he's come up, taken that opportunity, and has really made it his own. So brilliant for him. 3-run bomb down the line to turn a 3-1 deficit into a walk-off 4-3 win. Now, this involves me clicking a few buttons, which if you've ever watched a live stream before, is usually bad news. But okay, button 1 has been pressed successfully. We are in. There is a picture for podcast listeners. There is a picture of Mark Kotze, and he is about to talk to us. Hopefully, he is about to talk to us about what is he going to talk to us? He's going to talk to us about Luis Barrera getting the opportunity to make amends from his base running and fielding mistakes. If I click the right button, blimey, O'Reilly. Here we go. Here we go. I've got more screens than a Curry showroom here. Come on. Here we go. Oh. It's not working. It's crashed on me. Oh. Here we go. So Carl said, I was wrong about Kevin Smith. He's actually been a decent third baseman. He has, yeah, he's just not hitting, is he? He does look solid there, because he is kind of by trade, he's a shortstop, isn't he, really? So we'll see if they do move him. But that picture of Mark Kotze looks like he woke up out of a K-hole. Yeah, he does look a bit weird there, doesn't he? Let's hear what he's got to say for himself if I finally click the right button.
Interesting game for Barrera, but obviously, the mistakes he made, I'm sure he wanted that at bat. Wouldn't have got there without the 2 in front of him with Laureano and Bethancourt. Bethancourt's at bat was awesome, just to get Barrera back up there, give him a chance to redeem himself, and And he put a great swing on that pitch, and I think he knew it right when he hit it. So.
Yes, indeed he did, Mark. Yes, fantastic. Really good for him to get the opportunity to make amends for those mistakes, especially as a young player. That could have really weighed heavily on him. And to come out in that pressure situation and not kind of use the negativity to make him go backwards and try and do too much. He just stayed in the moment, put a great swing on the ball, and that was fantastic. Mark Kotze said that he thought that Luis Barrera knew it was gone as soon as it came off the bat. Well, it turns out Kotze was something of a clairvoyant in that he predicted it.
Good feeling. To be honest, before the inning started, I walked over to Mike Aldretti and said, "Hey, wouldn't this be great? I think it's going to happen if we get him up there." Baseball tends to be that way, and I couldn't be happier for the kid. I know he's feeling good right now, and it was a big moment.
Certainly was, yes. Really good stuff for him. And I will say also, good pitching all the way through. Paul Blackburn, as I mentioned earlier, steady as you like. 6 2/3, giving up just 1 run. Tied it up in the bottom of the 7th, 1-1, only to give up those 2 runs in the 8th. So, that would have downed a lot of teams. That would have been most teams out and away, but not this A's team. We showed some fight, and that's so important for a team like us this season. We've got a lot of young players coming through, veterans who are trying to give it another go. We know it's going to be tough this season. Showing that fight counts for a lot. And I will say, Matt, with the video graphic buttons, is like Lou Trevino being a closer. Well, that's actually very fair, to be honest with you, Carl. It is a bit of a lottery with me, and it's a bit of a lottery with Lou Trevino. But that's exactly what I was about to talk about, Carl, because we do have to give some credit, much as Luis Barrera was the man at the end. We do have to give some credit to Lou Trevino. Came in 2 on, 2 out to face Mike Trout, and he struck him out. And that did at least keep it within 2 runs. And then the guys, as Kotze mentioned there, Ramon Laureano, Christian Bethancourt, got on base in front of Luis Barrera, and we were able to get it done. But yes, Mark Kotze was asked after the game what it is like to finally get a walk-off after so many years being with the A's, seeing walk-offs as a coach, getting the walk-off as a manager for the first time.
As a coach over the last few years, as you talk about, you experience those, and you feel the highs, but I haven't come down yet. So it's a great feeling for this group. As I talk about, they don't give up. They fight to through the end of the game every day, every night, and couldn't be prouder of that group in there right now. Interesting game.
Certainly can, yes. Certainly proud of the group, that is for sure. And really good stuff there to get the win in that game. Few comments from Emil Serber, if I've pronounced that right. Sorry if I haven't. Have you ever considered starting a UK-based TV broadcast of MLB games, like playoff games or something? Wonder what the bureaucratic process is for stuff like that. Yeah, good question. MLB, certainly on YouTube, for example, MLB has very good algorithms to how should I put it, detect if you are broadcasting stuff that you shouldn't be broadcasting. I tried to do that during the pandemic by broadcast. It was actually an old MLB game. It was from it was the 2000 World Series, Mets, Yankees, and it immediately cut off the live stream. So yeah, it's a bit difficult. Carl has said also that he'll be off shortly to record with a friend. Hopefully I don't end up in a K-hole. Well, there we go. We will all hold our breaths and wait for a text message from Carl to see if hopefully he is not in a K-hole at some point. But yes, Emil, would love to do stuff like that, but it does often tend to be a bit difficult, really. That MLB, you'd like to think MLB would like to encourage these sort of things, but they are quite strict on it. All that without the express written consent of Major League Baseball and all that. But there we go. One thing, Sammy Smith, nice to hear from you. Not A's related, but great news about baseball getting more funding in the UK. It absolutely was. Yes, so we had 2 brilliant announcements day after day. One was the formal announcement. We kind of already knew about it, that MLB would be coming back to London 3 more times. Next year, 2023, 24, they're going to Paris in 25. And back to London in 26. So they're apparently putting quite a lot of money into it and various promotional stuff. But also BS UK, so that's Baseball Software UK, got about £2.5 million to put towards put towards baseball and softball in terms of developing the sports. And £2.5 million, yes, in the world of Major League Baseball is absolutely nothing to amateur sport, which baseball and softball is a lot of money. And certainly it's the sort of thing whereby it's money that a small, say, baseball team or softball team can take. If they get, say, 15,000 of it, having that money from there can also help them get match funding from another grant pool to make it 30 grand. So, yeah, all of these things are really important. So fantastic news for baseball and softball. And we'll certainly be covering things like that over the course of our podcast and over the course of AUK as we see those developments come through. Emil has said, someone finally pronounced my name correctly. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. There we go. I did get one thing right today. I've learned all of my button pressing mistakes. There we go. Yes, so game 2 of the series was very good, but game 3, following up that evening, was very disappointing. To be honest, I don't think it's being overly harsh to say it wasn't unexpected. Ademola had come into the season as a potential steal, a minor league guy who we thought might be worth a shot. Has really struggled early this season, unfortunately for him. Got sent down to the minors, got called up to be the 27th man. The extra man for the doubleheader, and got boshed about. Basically, we lost 9-1. Ademola gave up 8 runs in total, and if I press the right button again, which is never guaranteed, I can give you some comments from Ademola after the game. A very downbeat Ademola, it is fair to say.
There's a lot of stuff I need to work on right now, mentally and physically. But at the end of the day. Baseball's a game, so you always got to work. Just didn't help myself falling behind accounts a lot, walking guys, putting myself in tougher situations than I had to be in. That was kind of it. I didn't really think it had anything to do with the lineup. It was just more myself than anything, just falling behind accounts and walking guys.
Yes, and that's been the issue, I think, for all of Ademola's starts so far. He's not someone with blazing stuff. Actually, he's got a better fastball than I thought he would. From the scouting reports I'd seen. But yeah, he's just not getting ahead of hitters, and then he's falling behind and he's having to throw into the zone, which isn't going to be his game, isn't anyone's game really. But yeah, he just needs to find something, I think. But hopefully he'll be able to do that. He's going to go down to Vegas, which is not a great place for pitchers. Let's be honest, it is a tricky place to pitch. But hopefully he can find something there and come through nicely. So that was game 3, losing it 8-9-1. I will say, in fairness to Ademola, he did go 2 innings, probably longer than he normally would have done. So although he gave up 8 runs, that was in part Mark Kotsay leaving him in for longer than you would normally do because of the situation being a double header and all of the games we've had. So the fact that he soaked up a couple of innings, did Grimm and Kularek both pitched 2 innings each. So that will mean, hopefully, the bullpen is fairly fresh for today. And that is what we're going to move on to in a moment. I shall find some appealing music to play in the meantime. Let me have a look. Oh, this one looks nice. Here we go. So I shall play some appealing music as I get myself ready to try and press a few buttons correctly to then move on to previewing today's game. Yeah, I've just been speaking without my microphone on, haven't I? There you go. There you go. So what I was saying, in fact, is that this lovely song is from Epidemic Sound. If you're a podcaster, live streamer, or a video producer, you should have a listen to this. Because Epidemic Sound is a great way to get licensed music for your podcasts, or your live streams, or your videos. So yes, this is El Camino de la something. Wait for it to come through. Here we go. De la Noche, I think it is, by El Equipo del Norte. So that's very nice. So there we go. Yes, I sat there for about 30 seconds speaking without my microphone on. Let's not worry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Let us just get on with a podcast and a live stream as if it didn't happen. So we are moving on now to today's game and the lineups. So first pitch is at 1:07 local time. That's 9:07 our time. So about 15 minutes now. Away the A's come into the game 15-21 with the Angels 23-13. The game, in fact, is free to watch if you're not on a blackout on MLB.com. So you can have a watch at that one. I will be watching, of course. The A's lineup today is as follows. Tony Kemp leading off, playing second base. Jed Lowry in at designated hitter. Ramon Laureano is batting third and in right field, with Chad Pinder batting fourth and in left field. Sean Murphy batting fifth at catcher, with Christian Bethancourt at first base. Elvis Andrus at shortstop. Kevin Smith in at third base, and Christian Pache centre field and batting 9. And I can indeed put up the, I may be able to put up the other ones. There we go. Here we go. So this is the Angels lineup. There we go. Taylor Ward leading off, with Mike Trout batting second. Shohei Ohtani designated hitter today. Anthony Rendon, Jared Walsh, Brandon Marsh, Chad Wallach, Tyler Wade, and Andrew Velasquez. So they are the starting lineups today. And on the mound, so for the Angels, it's Patrick Sandoval, left-handed pitcher, allowed 3 runs on 7 hits and 3 walks in 5 2/3 innings on Sunday, and that was a 5-4 win over the Washington Nationals. He struck out 5, although didn't factor into the decision. Made 5 starts so far this season. He was scoreless over the first 3, but has allowed 3 runs in each of the last 2 outings. Yet to allow a home run, so hopefully we can knock that one off today. We faced Sandoval 3 times last season. Generally did okay against him. Has an outstanding changeup, so that's the main thing to look at for him today. As for the A's, it's Frankie Montas. Fun time, Frankie. Frankie says relax. He took the loss in Game 1 of Tuesday's doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers, which was quite disappointing, I thought. He was kind of the man you thought, yeah, he's definitely going to come through and win for us. And he didn't. Allowed 4 runs on 7 hits with 4 strikeouts and 3 walks over 6 1/3 innings. But he was outstanding in his previous start against the Rays, pitching 7 scoreless. So hopefully Frankie can get back to it today. And if he does, that will set us up nicely for the series against the Minnesota Twins. So to have a quick look at that one. Yes, so the A's were swept in a 3-game series in Minnesota just over a week ago. All 3 games were decided by a single run. So for the Twins, the Houston Astros then came to Target Field and they swept up the Minnesota Twins in a 3-game series before Minnesota then went on to welcome Cleveland to their home field. Twins won Friday 12-8, but lost in the 10th inning on Saturday. Score was tied 1-1 at the end of 9 innings when former Oakland A Jarrell Cotton came in to pitch for the 10th and gave up 2 runs. The Twins were able to get 1 run against Emmanuel Clase, who we know full well is a real flamethrower, but they lost the game 3-2. So we'll see what they do today in the series finale and what they come into the Oakland Coliseum on at the end of that. Now, the man, of course, we always think about, well, we do this season anyway, is Carlos Correa, the former Astro who has been a pain in our neck and many other places for several years with the Houston Astros. Now with the Twins, he's been out with a finger injury for a while. Spoke to reporters on Saturday and said he was getting better. He is eligible to come off the injured list on Monday, but it's not yet confirmed as far as I can see if he will do. So I think he may need a bit longer. Fingers crossed he will miss the A series, because we know what he's like. If he had 1 arm or 1 leg, he'd probably hit a home run against us. So yes, hopefully he's not around, but we'll see. Other than that, the series details. So Monday and Tuesday are both night games at the Coliseum, 6:40 p.m. local time, so that's 2:40 a.m. here in the UK. And Wednesday's game is a day game, 12:37, so kind of lunchtime out there in Oakland, so that's 8:37 p.m. here in the UK. That's on Wednesday. The pitching matchup, Zach Logue and Chris Archer in the first one. James Caprillion and potentially Josh Winder, but we don't yet know. That's still to be decided, apparently. And then the day game that I'm really looking forward to on Wednesday, it is Dalton Jeffries against former A, Sonny Gray. And yeah, I think it was Melissa Lockhart off The Athletic posted the Spider-Man thing of them pointing at each other, because they do look quite a bit like each other, Dalton Jeffries and Sonny Gray. So yes, that will be an interesting matchup. Looking forward to that one. Anyways, I have learned a lesson on my live streaming on what button I need to update so that when I flick to the right screen, it turns off my microphone or turns on my microphone. More to say, but what I'm going to look for, just before we go, I'm going to look for something rocky, because I think we need to get up and ready to go. Let me have a look. Can't see anything. There was something I listened to earlier. I can't find it now. It was like some Nordic. You know what I mean? No, I can't find it now. Anyway, we will try this one. This is from Niklas Johansson. Ooh. This is the end of all things from Niklas Johansson. Look that up on Epidemic Sounds account on Spotify or wherever. There we go. Rock to get you in the mood before the game today. A couple of updates I did want to mention. A couple of injury updates. Firstly, Cole Irvin. Martin Gallegos at MLB.com has given a quick update on him today. Did pitch a bullpen session ahead of the A's game against the Angels on Friday. Came through that fine. Seemed to be okay yesterday as well, which is always important morning after that sort of thing. So he is now set to make a minor league rehab start at the Stockton Port on Tuesday. So if you're in the area, definitely go along to Stockton to watch Cole Irvin out there at Banner Island Ballpark. His injured list placement is retroactive to May 2nd, so he should be fairly soon able to come back late May. So that's good news for the A's to have Cole Irvin coming back very soon. One guy who is no longer with the A's, but a guy who we do think highly of, I would say, is Jesus Luzardo, the Messiah. Now, he had started the season pretty well for the Miami Marlins, but unfortunately he was placed on the 10-day injured list today, on Sunday, with a left forearm strain. Now, that can often be very, very bad news. So hopefully it is something that's very mild and it's something he can get over fairly quickly, but it can be a symptom or a sign of something much more serious. So hopefully not for him. Apparently he felt soreness coming out of a tough outing last Tuesday at Arizona. And if I remember correctly, it was last season he had an absolute shocker at Chase Field against the D-backs for the A's. And I remember, I think it was Deolis Guerrera who came in and relieved for about 3 innings. And of course, Guerrera has ended up having Tommy John elbow surgery. Hopefully the same will not be said for Jesus Luzardo, who has already had Tommy John surgery as a prospect. So a second one would be very bad news. But hopefully I'm being too nervous and too anxious about that, and hopefully he's okay. But there we go. That has been the live stream. I've enjoyed doing that. Hopefully it's come out okay. A couple of snafus with the buttons as always, but that's all part of the fun. If you're watching on the live stream, do hit the notification bell and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you are notified when we go live in future cases of a live stream. And if you're listening on a podcast, that means I've been able to turn it into a podcast. So thank you for listening to this. Let me know this slightly different style. We will still be doing obviously all of the usual ones in terms of A's Farm and all of the nonsense we do on air with Dom and Hannah, Jay and various others. So we will be bringing that back very soon. But hopefully this one finds you over for now. And yes, hopefully by the time you've listened to this, the A's have got a good win against the Angels on Sunday, and we can go into the week starting off at home against Minnesota Twins in a very positive. There we go. Thank you for watching or listening or doing the both. If you're on YouTube, enjoy the game if you're about to watch it. I will see you very soon.